Hello everyone, and welcome back to our Total War 3 Kingdoms campaign, hopefully going on to an exciting episode today. As a reminder, we have finally secured our most northeastern regions over here, with Gongsun-do only limited to two settlements, one province, and that's absolutely fine. We don't need the lumber yard, that's more of an agricultural area over there, so we're not short of agricultural areas at all. So what we're going to do is we're going to move Zhang He and his army back down to help us out towards our more southern stuff over here, and we're going to try and take out Sir Liu Yu over here within the coming episodes. And we do actually still have a mission to destroy Zhang Fang's faction. This is a faction previously led by Zhang Yang, and of course we did deal with him previously. In fact, this is the second successor to the faction. So if we destroy this, we get the standard path of glory for 5 turns. We get increased population growth, public order, and income from peasantry for a good few turns there, and that's certainly something we need. However, we now also have a fairly stable economy with a good number of armies running, and with no outgoing food exports, we actually have 2,500 income as it stands at the moment, with the usual army upkeeps and salaries being the larger outgoing payments there. So we're going to start working towards reducing our salary outputs or outgoings, and we're going to look at standardizing our public order and making that a little more positive, because it is generally in the negative at the moment, or at least not improving in a lot of places. So we're going to have to work on that through reforms and such, aren't we? Let's have a look at our taxes once again. We do actually have that on the penultimate heights there. So we're going to keep that there to keep our tax rates high. Public order's fine, and our food income is all good there as well. So yeah, we need to move over here. We need to move Zhao Yun and his captain resting you. I think we will wait the 1 turn just to replenish here, or do we really need to? I don't really think so, to be honest. Let's go and take Lunu. That is a more... it's the province capital, but it does only have a minor garrison there, so Zhao Yun should be fine to take that on quite handily. So we are absolutely going to start that battle immediately. Just to actually take a very quick map view, see if they've got any defences. So this is going to be a true minor assessment battle, and that is absolutely fine. Let's get going. So split our forces into a large bulk over here, just so that we can rain some arrows down onto the infantry in this area. We don't have any cavalry, of course, to make use of any mobility, unfortunately. We're going to take Zhao Yun, and I think really we might want to charge them on around the sides over here, and we can keep these units in reserve just to they were deployed just to split up the enemy's own deployment, their attack. What do we actually have over here? This is some bandit gang. Do they have shields? They certainly do. However, yeah, it's 55% missile block on those shields. So what we're going to do is actually try and probably charge those on with our axe bands and such over here, because we will beat them quite handily. We do have the archer support to remove their own archers in the flank there. Let's bring Zhao Yun around to the flank here and capture a tower perhaps, or even just come around to the flank. I'm not going to move these 2 units in for the minute. We are going to have to remember to bring in our infantry captains and such, just to provide bonuses to morale and such, provide absolute unit superiority on this side of the settlement. Should be getting in range of these archers, certainly are. There we go, lovely stuff. We are going to lose a fair few of these axe bands, but we do have some missile block of our own with these shields here. And we'll bring Zhao Yun all the way around. He has captured this one tower very quickly. It's one thing heroes are very good at doing. Heroes and generals are very good at doing that. So we're going to bring him into the flank over here, perhaps pick up these gen infantry captains, and that is their acting leader. I might just want to run him into the archers first, actually. How are we doing against these archers? Have they lost many people? Not particularly, actually. They've lost 8 people. I'll make that 9 now, aren't we lucky? So I think what we're going to do is fire onto the spears over here and try and break the morale a little quicker. How's Zhao Yun doing? He has made contact with these archers, and it does have Flames of the Phoenix for a good amount of splash damage there. But that does mean we want to get some enemy units bunched up together to help out with that. So we're losing a fair few of these axe band on the charge here. And we do actually have with the axes shield breaker to remove shield melee evasion and armor. Not really doing too well with this morale though, are we? It's finally rousing. And there we go, we're getting on top of here. So I think we are actually going to use our Flames of the Phoenix here. It does kick off, there we go, lovely stuff. That's done a lot of damage to the infantry captain there. So we can now run in over here to provide a more stronger flanking position. We're just going to run right with our axe band through here, I think. We do finally have this archery tower over here, which is excellent. Just going to bring our archers a little more succinctly over, just keep firing generally on the enemy position there. The infantry captain's thinking about running away, but let's keep on top of these archers. Try and get this tower for ourselves. We don't currently have it just yet. Need to rouse off these enemies. We'll keep Giant over here. That means we can come through rather safely with our own axe band. And there we go, fairly decent victory. I could certainly have been cleaner, but we cannot complain too much at all. With a little bit of loot and a new province capital under our command, we are certainly going to secure and occupy, no reason not to. So we have a terrible collapse. So during construction efforts in the new town, a section of bamboo scaffolding collapses in a horrific accident and crushes many of our men. So I think we do certainly have the money to go for the more noble option of pay for doctors. This will also increase our satisfaction faction-wide for 5 turns, and that is absolutely brilliant. So we're going to do that because we don't want any malices, and increased satisfaction is absolutely great. Always useful there. We did have some characters, in particular Lady Liu, actually somewhat unsatisfied. But actually everyone's is quite high across the board despite having this bonus now, which is excellent. It's exactly what I want to see. With high satisfaction you get less corruption and therefore more income. So we do have a county office already here. We're going to want to convert that to a Yuan administration office, but we do need a small city to do that. So we are going to start thinking about upgrading this already. Don't see any reason not to there. It will of course increase the tier of the land registry office here for more food income. Yet again, because this is a livestock oriented province here. And I think that is pretty much it for this turn. I think we're going to move Yuan Shao into Guangyang over here a little more solidly. And I think we are going to save up a little bit of money this turn as well, just so that we can pay for a few more expensive buildings in the future. I'm actually really looking at this coastal trading port rather nicely for that lovely commerce income and this marketplace. We can afford them now. But it's good to have some money on hand, isn't it? We're certainly going to want to start upgrading Pingyuan as well with the salt mines over here for that industry income. So we're going to save money for now and just carry it on to the next turn. Well, at the end of next turn, nothing really stand out at the minute. However, Kongrong has signed a peace treaty with Dongzhou and therefore the Greater Han Empire, which is rather interesting. Get the honour above all because of the action we took previously, which is excellent. And construction completed the Yuan Administration Office in Liaoxi, which is going to provide us some prestige, public order, and some income. If we upgrade that even more, that should turn into a lineage providing building at tier 3. So we're certainly going to think about upgrading this a little further, aren't we? Because we need some more solid lineage produced by ourselves there. And that will, of course, reduce corruption later on as well, I believe. Or is that, no, that's just the standard non-UN type of administration office, but that's absolutely fine. We can deal with that later on anyway. It's not too much of a problem at the moment. So what are we going to do this turn? We're going to move up to scout out Liu Yu's own faction. It has a fair army over here. I think we're going to force march Zhang He and replenish, of course, when we do get closer and take that on fairly swiftly. No more buildings constructed. Not to worry. What can we do over here? Can we scout out further over here to Changshan. We do have 2 minor armies. This one actually rather battered. There's lots of bandit gangs, that's not to worry. And pretty much the same deal over here. However, I think we might want to pull back just a tad. Can't see, there's not tree line anywhere, but what's the ambush success chance over here? Not great. I think what we're going to do is actually... I think we still want to try and ambush, because it's not necessarily bad, and we're going to try and recruit yet another general. Now, I think really we want perhaps a commander or a vanguard if possible, so we can get a vanguard of Liu Chang over here. Or we want Yuan Shao, perhaps. It does have quite a few decent traits over here, but nothing particularly for leading an army at the moment. Han Fu wouldn't necessarily be bad, although we have been grooming him more for administration positions. Don't necessarily want a mercenary captain for the minute, but I think we might have to go for that, just for some cavalry to begin with. Just looking at everyone's own upkeep costs. It's going to be generally cheaper overall if we do max out a stack. Lance cavalry captain might be decent. I just need mobility and the ability to actually remove a few more officers, to be honest. What do we actually get here? Some true saber infantry and some saber cavalry, but we get some lance cavalry, of course, and some mounted saber militia. I think I'm going to go for the standard cavalry captain here, and that is gonna, we're only going to take that. We can disband that later on. That is going to hurt our income for the minute, and there we go. That's a good reason to save up some money there. So we're going to just move on to the next turn already and try and ambush and these armies and take on Zhongshan. Well, ambush has failed over here, but because the enemy is very, very battered indeed, we are absolutely going to be able to win this. We're going to try and keep our cavalry out of this fight, simply because they're battered themselves and they will rout very quickly. That might not always be an option, of course, so Zhao Yun's going to have to pull his weight quite hard here. Let's have a quick look at the map before we go in. Quite standard, quite open, a couple of trees to take into account. But I think really we're going to be absolutely fine with this. Let's start. Alrighty, so I think we're going to instantly move to take this little bit of high ground over here. We are going to run there as quickly as possible in order to take that. So let's actually charge Zhao Yun a little further up by himself. Of course, we do want to try and win this battle with as few casualties as possible. So once again, we are going to sit out our newly recruited retinues, unfortunately, because they will get slaughtered at this stage. We need to think about reduced casualties if possible, because of course the enemy does have an army in reserve in the province behind it, which we're hoping to capture. Can we duel at all? We certainly can go for Suma Baomeng, and it's quite likely we will win that, and they actually want to duel themselves. Let's absolutely get into that. And hopefully we should dismount them. And a long lance there, a long spear, absolutely brilliant first contact there, and that should be absolutely great. Zhao Yun is made for tanking these duels. I'm not making so much damage on them though, but we do of course have Flames of the Phoenix, and the cooldown's only 30 seconds, so we're going to use that, get some burst damage on. That'd be great. There it goes. Excellent. Well, it appears she's actually retreated from that fight, so we are going to have to mount up, get on top of these, what are they, bandit marauders. Should be absolutely fine to deal with them. We do of course have our Flames of the Phoenix off cooldown there, and because the enemy is so battered, I think we're just going to move up. Doesn't look like they want to engage us at the moment. We're going to try and pull back, draw them in over here, so we do fight on the slope. Give us a small advantage. And there we go. So let's try and bring our spear infantry around. We did have them guarding our flanks over here. We are going to have to brace for a charge. Not quite on the slope though, which is rather unlucky, but that's okay. I think we're going to take our right flank and just move straight in onto the enemy there. And just get some archers firing for the minute. Get onto these bandit gangs. Yeah, the enemy has broken, so we're just going to move once again. Make sure we are on that slope a little better. Then we can charge down as we see fit. Can we tempt them out with some skirmishing? And the valuable prize of Zhao Yuan, of course. See if he can get actually onto the enemy bandit hunters there. We're going to charge down the hill with everything here. Do need our G militia to try and engage the cavalry there. We'll keep some reserve just to protect our archers, of course. Run into the enemy's flanks, get something onto the enemy archers, and we're all good there. Let's charge into the flanks here and get another Flames of the Phoenix off. See how much damage that does. A ruddy bloody lot by the looks of it. And the enemy is rousing quite handily on that side. The cavalry's broken through, but they are now surrounded. We'll be absolutely fine there. That actually does mean that we've neglected our centre once again, so that's all good. Just get through here. Come back here. Use our reserve to push in here. And actually bring around this axe band, because you don't need all of that on the cavalry. Take 2 of these units to charge into the archers, and we'll support once again with Zhao Yuan. I'm just trying to chase down as many enemies as possible because I don't want them retreating. However, they're quite low on men as it is now. It looks like we have actually dealt with this bandit gang quite handy. They just surround us so they can't escape. Make sure that does go down. Massive charge from Zhao Yuan there. Do you see that HP go down so quickly? They are holding off though because they do have this strategist very close by to help out morale. But they'll soon be going down themselves. We have completely destroyed this bandit hunters. Don't need to run around with this lot. Destroyed. What do we have over here? More bandit gang, I presume. How many men do they have? 8 people left. They're not going to replenish. Let's get on these hunters. We might be able to capture Wang Dan and actually send him off for a ransom. So we're just going to try and hunt down these bandit hunters so they don't recover from the end of the battle. Alrighty, so how did that actually end up? Looks like we haven't actually wiped them out from the animation here, but we'll see the true results. So we have completely wiped all of that out pretty much. They might still hang on with this strategist still about. Let's see what we can do with that. Get some replenishment, I think. And they have actually managed to retreat there. They're thinking about attacking us again. No, that's not a problem whatsoever. We're only stronger because hopefully... Ooh, that's very interesting. Dongzhuo and Tao Chen are in a coalition. Alrighty, we'll work with it. And Luo Jun and Zhang Yang are in a coalition. We'll have to think about that moving forwards because... I believe Zhang Yang is this young man over here. Does only have the 1 province so far. Well, it does have Shangdang as well. But it looks like our own ally in Liu Bei is thinking about pushing in here and destroying Zhongjiang, which is rather interesting as well. We have something to look at. Yen Tan looks like he's been leveled up. So we're going to try, I think now, look about getting him to actually command an army. So we're going to get the ability to use night battles and fire arrows already, and that will allow him to have a fairly diverse army there with some archers and some cavalry in his own retinue. No, we don't. We're going to keep these as bargaining chips for the moment, these 2 ancillaries. We're going to look at our reform. We are going to go towards some happiness, so we're going to get this one instantly. 3 public order in all commanderies, absolutely standard need to get. And I think we might go for Principles of Wu Wei next, simply for that reduced character salary and standard satisfaction for commanders. And then we really need to think about building a greater economy. There's so many more reforms to think about getting. Population growth and food in the lower tier over here. We might want to get some spies up as well by getting this particular reform. Spies are very powerful, as you would expect, and more trade agreements through over here. Too much to think about. Too much to take in, but I think we can just go straight in here and take this on as it is, even though these armies are backing each other up. We need to just be aggressive at the moment. Yeah, and that's absolutely fine. I think we can certainly take the damage over here. We're going to delegate this. Yeah, 380 loss is really not a problem at all. We're not too battered there. That's all good. So, ooh, we do get Li Damu. Is lame. Does have reduced desire for higher course office and reduced retinue upkeep, actually. It's never bad. He is already rank 4 as well. The -3 public order is not really a problem if it's a thing when he's in a certain position. But he does also have income from industry. Yeah, so this guy's not going to have a lot of ambition to improve his status, which means his satisfaction is going to be good. Don't really get anything too valuable if we execute him. Not the highest of, income from releasing him, so I think we are just going to go for the quite standard base salary there. And that's all good there. So we're going to replenish the tad. What is the actual garrison over here? It could be better, could be worse for us. I think we see if we can just... the balance of power is not really in our favour. I think we just take 1 or 2 turns to replenish once again. We can't encamp, unfortunately, because we don't quite have the movement. But if we just take 1 or 2 turns to replenish here, we'll walk straight into Zhongshan with Zhao Yun once again. And then once we've taken that, I think we can probably think about going up to Fanzhou over here in Yanmen. And then we can disband this whole retinue to free up our income a little more once again. But do we want to spend any money anywhere? I think we certainly want to go for the coastal trading port as a priority. Is there anything else really tickling our pickle? Not particularly pressed for food or peasantry income, are we? I think we go for the salt mine first, for that 100 income. And then we get the coastal trading ports for a little more income there. Can actually have a faction council go through, but we don't have the money to actually do anything at the moment. So Shun Yu wouldn't mind getting us a new character, which is always useful, or a random ancillary. Yuan Shao needs to kill a target. Oh, that's okay. And increase faction public order. Pop growth is always useful. I think we go for that one later on. Need the next turn though. Okay, so weirdly, Yuan Shao is breaking his non-aggression pact with us. Not really a problem, to be honest. That just frees us up diplomatically with him. It's not at all a threat at the moment, so we can just acknowledge that, and it's all good. Hu Yi has declared war on Yuan Shao. Liu Yao has declared war on Cao Cao, which suggests Cao Cao is progressing quite a lot into the southern territories over here. Incidentally, Yuan Shao does have actually some fair territory of his own. Do apologise if you can hear a bike outside, they're bloody loud. And we have that Yuan magistrate over in Liaoxi now. Excellent, so that will provide some more public order and such as discussed. Character developments, Li Damu is ready for Juicy, that's all good. Do you have an assignment available? Let's see if we can get some more industrial income. I believe we should be getting some from Liaoxi is 652 income, 606 from Ping Yuan. Yeah, let's go to Liaoxi. Assign Li Damu. Oh, we can't get that just yet. We can get more food production so far. Okay. We can, or we could target him with an enemy. Actually, let's go to Zhang Fang over here and have him actually spy over here just so we can see what's going on there when we move over here. I think we do want to push up though, because Liu Zhe over here is threatening to take Changshan from under our nose, so we'll have a look and decide whether we can do this battle. Just a quick save over there. I think it'll be fine to do a night battle there and actually just delegate that really with a close victory. Although that will mean these, quite likely these sword guards will go down. I think we can certainly take it. Let's take a map view. Yeah, it's quite open. I think we'll be fine really. Zhao Yun's just going to have to do a lot of work once again. It's not a problem there. So the annoying thing about this battle is we do have a small slope to work with over here, but so does the enemy. And that is in some trees. And I would love to fight in the trees because it does reduce the effectiveness of the enemy cavalry. We're going to try and bring them out over here, away from the archers for now, because Zhao Yun will fall to those. We're going to try and draw them into the spears over here. And that is excellent. Take this. We might want to do a Flames of the Phoenix when possible. He's not registered as being in melee there. Is that popping off? Just coming. There we go. It's a lot of damage to do already. We're just going to fire on the enemy as well to help us out. If we start winning these little skirmishes, yeah, they're completely shattered now. That's excellent. Just form up once again onto the hill here. Keep our flanks somewhat protected over here. Just need to watch Zhao Yun's health because he is going to carry this battle if given time there. Fast forward and see where the enemy's going. They're relieving themselves of their advantage there. So we are going to try and fight on the slope once again. Just need to watch out for the enemy's archers because I think they're going to do the most damage if left to their own devices. Speaking of which, they are firing out. So we're just going to curl around, I think. And yeah, everything's really got decent shields for this battle, unfortunately. I think we're going to fire out onto the cavalry if possible. Curl around a tad with our right flank. Come round again, did not tell them to move up as far as I'm aware. And let's get onto the enemy archers to begin with. Brace over here for a charge. And we'll let the enemy come up the hill just a tad so we do get a bit of a slope. And we'll charge down here, I think. And we'll of course come in from the flank over here. And we'll focus our archer fire into this massive blob now. We'll come up with our infantry captain. How's Zhao Yun? Dealing with some of the enemy archers. Don't need 2 units like that. Come in to plug this gap. Bring up our spears to protect our archers. I think we'll just get Zhao Yun to really cluster up the enemy over here and we'll get on the enemy flank like so. The massive blob over here. Massive, massive blob. Prime target for our archers. We'll see how long we can hold up in there for. Come down to support our infantry like so. Just completely encircle this group. Lovely charge with our axe band there. Just try and keep these archers busy still. Shattered only the 1 unit there. I think we're all looking pretty damn decent now. Let's charge into these spears. Just need to plug all of these gaps now that people aren't moving around. Let's try and get onto the infantry captains if possible. How are we doing over here? Have they shattered? Not quite. But I think we need some help really in the centre over here. Let's get onto these bandit hunters. We do have 3 units over here. Let's pull back up. And bring our infantry captain to support over here because we are breaking a tad with this axe band. Need some morale bonuses there. Starting to run out of ammunition with our own archers as well. We don't have loads and loads. Let's get a rear flank charge over here. Get some archer fire into the spear unit because they are preoccupied. And there we go, starting to get some better position on the centre. In fact, the enemy's centre has crumbled. Extended a tad over here, I think. And that is a very nice victory indeed. So that should be the whole province ours now. Close victory indeed, but we can certainly work with that. So that is, of course, the enemy wiped out there. Fair bit of loot. And we are, of course, going to get some lineage to back up our secure and occupy once again. Such a good option to have there. And that is the full province of Zhongshan ours. So I think, really, it does have actually the whole county or province of Yanmen over here. So we are going to have to worry about that. Might want to try and send a spy up here later on, but not to worry. So, we are posting lead damage to spy on Fanzhe. And Zhao Yun has gained a rank, which is excellent. So we're going to get him the elemental vigor. So the longer he stays in combat, the better his melee damage and melee evasion gets, and that is perfect for Jules. Absolutely perfect for Jules. And of course, actually, we're getting some very nice replenishment here. Only a couple turns until we're up and running to actually move on to Fanzhou and such. That would be excellent. So what do we actually have in this province? We need to convert a few things. We do have another county office, which we're thinking of doing. We have some food tents, which is reducing our public order, so completely demolish that. And we'll downgrade this one as well, because it's not in line with our own faction buildings. The pirates and such over here, the mercenaries of Zhang Yan rather and Zhong Jiang, will have a different selection of buildings for their provinces. So I think we're going to do one more turn and see what our position is in. We're going to move up Zhang He and get him replenishing. That should only take a couple turns. We'll think about moving on to Liu Yu in the future. But we're also going to look at our faction council. Unfortunately, we can't do anything there. It's only on select turns, which is rather a shame. So everyone's getting a lot of good relationships with Dongzhuo recently, haven't they? They're going to peace between Cao Cao and Dongzhuo. They've got that coalition between Tao Chen and Dongzhuo. Yuan Shu's also in a coalition with Cao, so that could be rather worrisome in the future, because we're certainly going to want to take on Cao Cao. In fact, that will be the mainline mission once we destroyed this faction up here. Do have a couple province structure upgrades, which is excellent. I'm going to go for something to help out our industry, really, don't we? So we're going to go for some flat income over here from our industry, and we can boost that later on. I think that'd be great in Guangyang. We're going to go to Zhongshan, which is now a large town, and we want to convert these two buildings, really, don't we? We need a greater city over here. I think we really want to get on that as soon as possible, don't we? Although this is actually being a direct hindrance to our corruption and public order, so we've got to convert that instantly. That is actually going to help out our prestige a tad when Shou's taken away from his assignment. Good. So how is our prestige looking? We do still need quite a bit to get to the rank of Duke. So that's quite a long way off now, actually. So don't really need to think about that so much. How are we looking over here? I think really we just want to walk into Fanzhou over here, because these two armies are definitely eyeing it up. Definitely eyeing it up, and we'll take that on there. And that should just be a quick delegate to take that. It's only a very minor assessment there. Yeah, very few casualties indeed. That's ideal. Secure and occupy once again, because we've got lineage coming out of our arts. So what's that actually given us? We need to convert this once again, otherwise it's going to be a detriment, otherwise we get rid of that. And that is going to be another peasantry focused province. But I think, unfortunately, that's all we have time for today, everyone. We're on the path to glory, yes again, with this mission here, destroying the bandits and such. So we only have the one commandery to take now of Yingguan, and that shall wipe out the faction, but that will then open us up to Zhongjiang, so we want to try and get some decent relations with them. I don't want to overextend too much into this area, because then that opens up Dongzhuo even further. I want to actually look at crossing the river southwards and taking Luoyang and getting into Xuchang to take on Cao Cao next, I think, which comes with its own problems. So we're going to have to stabilise our economy and military that much further to really push in hard down there. But that is something for the future. As I said, that is unfortunately all we have time for today, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for watching once again. I hope you have enjoyed the video. And as ever, I shall see you in the future. May all of your nights and days be auspicious. Goodbye.